Hi guys, in this video we are going to discuss methods in C Sharp. So let's get started. A method is a named block of code. The block of code is executed when invoked from other part of the program. Methods can be reused in a program without the need to rewrite the same code, as we will see in some of the examples. They help us divide complex programs into manageable code blocks, and they also help in improving the readability of the code. And last but not least, they make debugging of the code easier. We'll discuss debugging in detail in some of the later videos. The syntax of declaring a C# method is you have got an access modifier. Anything in the syntax which is enclosed in a square bracket is optional. For the purpose of this video, we will ignore the access modifiers as they will be covered in detail in a later video. And then we have got a return type of that method, followed by method name, and in parentheses the parameter list, and the method body in the curly brackets. The return type defines the type of data returned by the method. It can be any type such as int, string, or any data types we have already discussed. If the method doesn't return a value, we must use keyword void in place of the return type. We will also see an example of this. The method name is the name used to call the method. So whenever we invoke this method, we call this method, we will use this method name. The parameter list is optional and describes the types and names of the information that you can pass into the method for it to process. The optional here means is a method can have no parameter or one or more parameters. The method body are the lines of code that are run when the method is called, and the method body is enclosed between opening and closing braces. How do we invoke a method? So when you declare a method, you are just telling the computer or the compiler that the method exists and what it does. The method doesn't get executed until it is invoked or called. You invoke a method by its name to perform its code. And when a method is invoked, you must supply the information requested as specified by its parameters. The type and number of parameters in the invoke statement must match with those of the method declaration. The order of the parameters in the invoke statement must match with that of the method declaration. We will see an example of this. So how do we return from the methods? So when you call a method, the program execution control transfers to the called method. Once the method execution finishes, the control transfers back to the calling statement. And there are two ways in which the control can transfer back to the calling statement. One way is the last statement in the called method is executed. And the second way is a return statement is encountered in the called method. So let's quickly go through this return statement. So why do we need return statements? So sometimes the methods you create, they compute a value, and the calculated value remains within the method unless it is returned back to the calling statement. And you can use a return statement for this purpose. A return statement consists of the keyword return followed by an expression that specifies the returned value and a semicolon. The type of the expression must be the same as the type specified by the method declaration. So we discussed the method declaration. In there was a return type, so it must match with that return type. We'll see an example of this as well. If you do not want your method to return information, you can write the keyword return immediately followed by a semicolon. So you can use the return statement on its own. In the next video, we will go through some examples of the methods in C#. If you haven't done already, please do subscribe, share and like the video because that really encourages me to create more. Thank you.